Hi guys, Geecher64 here, and today we're talking physical media. More specifically, we're going to be talking about a Steelbook line of movies from more than a decade ago. Now, this line was released by Universal. There's over 20 Steelbooks in the line. The line was called Real Heroes, R-E-E-L, Heroes. Over 20 completely different movies that had the same design. Now, we don't really get like Steelbook lines like this anymore. We pretty much all of the individual Steelbook releases we get are catered to the individual movie release. So I think looking back at this is kind of interesting to see how Steelbooks were, about 10 years ago. Now, I've been trying to track these down in stores for a couple of years now, and I have managed to get quite a few, but I haven't managed to get all of them. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys not only the ones that I have currently in my collection, but also all the 25 or so Steelbooks that were in this line. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. As I said, all of these releases were from Universal Pictures, and the Steelbook line was released from 2013 to 2014. So over a decade ago, which does make me feel pretty old. The idea of looking back at 2013 with nostalgia makes me feel old. I mean, what do we have in 2013? Pacific Rim, awesome. The Breaking Bad finale happened in 2013, if I remember.
I am the one who knocks.
Yeah, 2013 were some good times, not just in pop culture, but my 2013 was a good year, I'll just say that. But let's look at the designs first, and then I'll share with you guys what I've actually have in my collection. So first one we've got here is the Incredible Hulk. This is the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk, and you can see the design. Now, all of these are going to have this similar design. It almost kind of looks like a comic book. It obviously does cater to more of a comic book movie than some of the other movies we're going to talk about. But I think all of the designs are good. So this is kind of what it looks like. I like the color choice here, the purple and the green. I think it works well. I think Ed Norton's Hulk is kind of underrated. If it's been a while since you've seen it, maybe go back and give it another shot. Sure, the Hulk doesn't look as great as he does in the Avengers movies, but he at least acts like the Hulk, unlike in Endgame. But regardless, I digress. So there's Ed Norton's Hulk here, and then the other Hulk movie also had a Steelbook release in this line. Again, that kind of same layout here. And I think it's great that you had two different Hulk movies with matching designs. The one from the Ang Lee's Hulk from 2003, and Incredible Hulk was 2007. So I really kind of want to get both of these as like a pair because I think it's just kind of cool. There's elements of Ang Lee's Hulk that I like. There's also Serenity. I'm a big Firefly fan. I've got a few little things from Firefly around here. I've got like every version of Serenity that I think's come out and every version of Firefly that's come out. And I do have this one. I'll share with you guys here in a minute whenever I share with you guys what I actually have picked up. But again, I like this design. It's a take on one of the posters for Serenity. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. Now, you can see that the color choices and the layouts of the panel do vary within these Steelbooks. The fact that the background panels, they just went with brown does mute it a lot and then pops out the center picture there. But it also kind of makes it hard to see what scenes are actually happening there in the background. But regardless, I still like this Steelbook. We've also got Shaun of the Dead, another fire movie, and it's a really cool Steelbook. This one has a different layout than most of the other ones, and it's got the little subway there, and then you still got some of the panels. You got the arms reaching up there. I just think this is a really cool one. Another really cool design. But you can see the uniformity happen. And then we also got Hot Fuzz. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I think Hot Fuzz I like more than Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz is probably my favorite Simon Pegg movie. My favorite Simon Pegg, Nick Frost movie. And again, you got a little bit of the panelings, that they pop out there in the front. So that looks pretty cool. And then you've got Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul.
I don't think At World's End had come out yet. Whenever they were releasing this back in 2013, 2014. So that's why there isn't a Steelbook of that in this line. But yeah, Paul was okay. I mean, it wasn't as good as the trilogy that they did. But it was fine, I guess. Again, the way they lay this out, it just looks cool to me. I like these designs. Maybe they're not for everybody. I like the paneling getting little like comic book, panels of stuff that's within the movie and the comic book layout. I'm a comic book fan, so maybe that's why, but There you have Paul there. We also got Big Lebowski, another fire comedy there. It's interesting they went with purple. You got the bowling ball there on the front, obviously significant within the movie. I guess they could have gave him a white Russian, but regardless, that one. And then we also got Scarface, another pretty cool one. I like the fact that they went very muted colors and then went with the red there to pop out the title. I think that's a good choice. I don't understand why people don't like this design, actually. I guess they just don't like, comic books and graphic novels and that kind of thing. And if that's the case, then yeah, I guess that would be why you wouldn't like it. We also got Van Helsing. I think Van Helsing's a fun movie. I like it. I kind of wish they went with a little bit of different images for the paneling in the background. This one I'm not as hyped on as some of the other ones. But I do like Van Helsing, the movie. It's like a guilty pleasure, I guess. I like watching it around Halloween. We also got Chronicles of Riddick, Pitch Black. This was the first Riddick movie. This one's fine. I don't like this as much as some of the other ones. But you can see it's all maintaining the same design choices. And then you also got Chronicles of Riddick, which is the second one. Again, not huge on this one. I do think it's better probably than Pitch Black, maybe, just because of the color choices. But I like the third Riddick movie. That's my favorite out of them. But that one, again, hadn't come out yet when they were doing this line, so it wasn't included. We also got Hellboy 2, Golden Army, which is, I really like Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy movies. Both of them are good. And, this one I'm not as hyped on because this image of Hellboy is not great, to be honest. If you just change this layout of Hellboy but kept everything else the same, I'd probably be a little bit better on it. Ape Sapien's very small there in the paneling there. So, I don't know. I just don't like the layout as much on this one or the color choices, even though it does have gold. I think that's what they were going for the Golden Army. We've also got Death Race, which I've never seen Death Race. I've seen the original Death Race from the 70s with Sylvester Stallone. And that one is kind of a fun movie. Haven't seen this one with Jason Statham, but the design looks cool. Maybe eventually I'll get around to checking this one out. What other ones did they have? Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban. I've only seen this one time. It was pretty off the wall. The choices that they decided to do with The Rock was kind of funny. I like Carl Urban and just about everything, so I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and check it out again. I like this design. Like, look at you got the characters here, the paneling, the color choices for the paneling really actually shows what's happening within the scenes there in the back. So this is definitely one of my favorite ones out of this line. We also got The Mummy. This is the original Mummy. I'm a big fan of The Mummy, actually. I got a little bug flying around in here.
Don't do it.
I'm a fan of The Mummy, and but the paneling here in the back, again, you can see what's happening, which is good, but it doesn't pop as much against the characters. And I think that's really what makes or breaks these designs. But it's not a bad one, but it's not one of my favorite ones either. We also got Scott Pilgrim. This one's kind of a letdown because if anything was going to be comic book related, other than like a comic book movie like the Hulk, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, they should have been able to nail the design here. The choices they went with the back paneling are terrible. Like, you could do so many different scenes from that movie. There's so many memorable scenes from that movie, and you don't see any of it in the back paneling at all. So I'm kind of disappointed with this one. That's just my opinion.
This isn't gonna work, is it? Not a chance.
Hey, where you going?
We also got Wanted, which I didn't even know Wanted was one of the ones that was in this line until I started putting this video together, because I was curious to see what I was missing from my collection. And when I was doing this, I realized I'm missing a lot from my collection. And but I already have a couple different copies of Wanted. Would I get this if I saw it in person? I don't know. If it was under $10, maybe. I don't know. I do like the design. Wanted is based on a comic book, so that works. I do kind of wish Angelina Jolie was a little bit more front and center on it. I know she's not the main character, James McAvoy is, but you want Angelina Jolie on the front of a Wanted cover. At least I do. Anyway, there's also Kick-Ass. Now, this was one that is an overseas only release. So North America didn't get this one, which is weird. It's the only one in this line that I could find that did not have a North American release, which again is kind of strange. It's a comic book movie. I mean, it fits this line well. I don't know why they didn't, why they only had an overseas release for it. And the design's not bad. I would have went with a little bit different color choices, but We also got Bourne Identity. The first one looks pretty good. I think for me, what I like about these is the ones that I like the most are the ones that actually have like the panels. You can actually see what's happening in them, and then the characters pop out. That's what I'm noticing as I'm looking at all of these. We also got Bourne Supremacy, the second Bourne movie. Again, you can see all of the characters, everything that's happening in the background. The character doesn't pop out quite as much, but it kind of makes up for it because you can actually see what's happening in the panels. And same thing with the third one, Bourne Ultimatum. And this one's probably the best out of them, I think. Again, you can see what's happening. He pops out. I think this one, I didn't realize they did all three of them until I was putting this list together. We also got Fast and Furious. Which, yeah, totally Fast and Furious fits a comic book vibe. And I really like this design. You got all your characters up top. And just a really, really solid design there, in my opinion. And then we also got King Kong, the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong. And this one is okay. It's fine. You know, I'd say it's kind of mid, to be honest. Not bad. And then we've also got Jurassic Park, obviously. And this one I'm kind of disappointed with. I think they should have went with some different colors here for the background because the T-Rex doesn't pop. It's the same color as a T-Rex. Like, why would you do that? Just make these panelings different colors, and that's going to make us pop a lot more. But I like the overall scene choices that they went with. It'd be easier if they didn't just blend right in with the T-Rex. We also got Blues Brothers, which I have a Blues Brothers. I think I have two Blues Brothers Steelbooks, and neither one of them is this one. But I like this. I like the color choices here. Obviously, going with blue is good, and they stand out in their black suits. So I think this design works really well, I think. And so that's all of them. That's all 25 Steelbooks that they released. So, and the thing that is kind of crazy is I went ahead and looked on eBay because I was curious how much some of these went for. I like finding them out in the wild, so I'm not going to buy them on eBay. But even on eBay, they go from like $10 on the kind of the average or low end to $20. It depends on what the title is. Some of them are a little bit more than others, but overall, really about $10 to $20 for these Steelbooks, and that's really not bad considering how old they are. They must have printed a lot, or maybe people just aren't as interested in them. A lot of these have had 4K upgrades, so maybe that impacted it. But regardless, if you do like this line, you can go out on eBay and start finding some of these. So let me share with you guys the ones that I actually have in my collection. So I do have Scott Pilgrim, and as I said, I don't love the design, but I don't dislike the design either. I just wish the panelings in the back were more visible. One of the other things I do like about these Steelbooks is they didn't have J cards. They actually just printed the full titles there on the back of the Steelbook. A lot of Steelbooks, the back of the Steelbooks are lazy and pointless anyway. I would have preferred them to start doing this instead of just giving us lazy blank backgrounds on Steelbooks like what they've been doing. Some people don't like this. Some people don't like the fact they do this. Some people like J cards. That's fine. I don't like J cards. I have to fold them up and I put them inside. I like actually looking at the back and seeing the information because a lot of times I want to see how long a movie is before I decide to watch it. And I like just grabbing stuff off the shelf. So that's one of the good things I do like about these Steelbooks as well. Next, I got Jurassic Park. As I said, you would think that they would have went with a different color. In hand, it does look a little bit better than what it did from what I showed you, but it still seems a little bit muddled. They should have went with a different color here. Same deal. They got all the information there printed on the back of the Steelbook, so that's cool. I've also got the first Bourne Supremacy. There is a little bit of shine on this one in comparison to some of the other ones, so that's kind of cool. I do like the design and the layout here. We've also got Hot Fuzz. That's the other one I have. Again, there's a little bit of shine there on the title. I don't know if that's picking up there on the camera that well. But Hot Fuzz is my favorite out of the trilogy, my favorite one of their movies. So this is definitely one that I have that I was happy to pick up and add. Serenity, as I said, I own most of the copies of Serenity that they've put out physically. This is one of the ones that I do. There's like 10 movies that I'll buy repeatedly just for new packaging or something like that. Serenity is one of those. Because I think Serenity is an amazing movie. Honestly, if they just mess with the contrast some, I think that would help pop out the panels a little bit more. They don't have to change the color, but that would have been what I would have suggested. We've also got Big Lebowski. That's the other one I have. Again, a little bit of shine. There's a little bit of shine on all of these, some of them more than others. But yeah, Big Lebowski. And this is actually the only copy of Big Lebowski that I have as well. So a great comedy there. And then the other one I have is Incredible Hulk. The first one we talked about here in the video is the last one I guess we're going to talk about. And this is the Ed Norton Hulk. I really hope I can find Ang Lee Hulk, because I think having both of those side by side displayed up on my Steelbook display would be really cool. So I'm still on the lookout. I'm still on the lookout for more of these. As you can see, what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I've got 8. So I'm definitely on the lookout for more. There's 25 total that we talked about here. I believe I covered every single one that they put out. Then if I had to pick my top 5, I'm going to put both Hulks together. Like I just said, I'm going to put that on my top 5 list. I guess that's a little bit of cheating, but them as a companion, I think deserves a top 5 list. Then I'd probably go with Fast and Furious. I do really like that design. Also, Shaun of the Dead. I think Shaun of the Dead, I think that's a great looking Steelbook. I would have to go with Serenity. Maybe that's just because I'm partial to Serenity, even though I have some issues with it. I do like the fact that the front panel pops so much on that one. And perhaps Wanted, maybe. I'm not sure. This was impromptu. I didn't really sit down to actually pick out a top 5. I just figured I'd just list my top 5. No, I would have to put Doom on there. Doom is a really solid looking Steelbook. Yeah, I would probably put Doom. So let's go with Doom instead of Wanted. So there you go. I would say both Hulks, Fast and Furious, Shaun of the Dead, Serenity, and then Doom. I think those are the best. Those are my top 5. So let me know below if you have any of these, or if you have all of these in your collection. Comment, let me know. I think that'd be crazy if you do have all of them. Props to you if that's the case. Do you remember seeing these back in the day? Were you even collecting physical media back in 2013, 2014? Comment and let me know. I know this video was a little bit different than what I normally do, but it is physical media related. I just wanted to kind of take a look back in time at a collection of Steelbooks that a lot of people don't really remember, and a collection of Steelbooks that we don't really get anymore, which is multiple movies with the same art style to them. So, but anyway, regardless, I want to thank everybody for sticking around here today. Thank you, subscribers. All of you are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all the YouTube stuff or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geechu64, and I'll always tell you the truth.